we believe that the execution should be done by the young people. And this is because young people understand their issues better than the older people.
He's a leader, a storyteller, and a change maker.
So your admiration for Kojo Nkrumah, is that what sparked your interest in politics?
Oh, no. If you can recall, I mentioned that every morning I used to listen to Joy FM Super Morning Show. And he was host of Joy FM Super Morning Show.
From leading as a student at KNUST to co-founding Ghana's first youth think tank.
There's a thin line. And the thin line there is the young people also have a role to play. As a young person, it is not just about giving the opportunity to say something.
Anokye Kyeremateng has made it his mission to inspire action and shape policy.
You can never learn anything if you don't start. So you always have to start. But you see, in this part of our world too, when young people hear the word start, they think of finances. How am I going to fund this? But start is even just the little writing that you are doing.
In this episode, we dive into his journey, the wins, the challenges, and the vision that has kept him moving forward. Get ready for a conversation about leadership, ideas, and the power of youth to change the world.
Young people need to understand that you don't always have to own something.
I want to know one thing that you are currently building that scares you a little in a good way. Hello and welcome to another episode of Dreams and Feelings podcast. I'm Julius Ansa, and today I'm joined by Mr. Anokye Kyeremateng, a young leader with passion for innovation, youth development, and then also public speaking. Mr. Anokye, welcome to Dreams and Feelings.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm actually glad to be here. You know, I've been following what you are doing, and I think we planned this some weeks ago, but
not some weeks ago, months ago.
But yeah, like you mentioned, I was caught up in the data analytics training, and then by the grace of God, I'm done.
Okay.
So I just got back to you that I'm now ready to be a part of this.
Thank you very much for coming.
You're most welcome.
How are you feeling today? This is what I ask everybody. I want to know how you are feeling.
I'm feeling great, actually. I'm feeling like I think the most important thing is that I have life. The most important thing is that I'm working in purpose. And then every day is an opportunity to be thankful to God for how far He's brought us and where He's taking us.
Talking of working in purpose, I want to know you, Mr. Anokye. Because I know you as Andrew Anokye, the former SRC speaker of KNUST. The former KNUST SRC speaker. That's how I know you. I got to know you in KNUST and all of that. But we don't really know who Anokye is. Mm-hmm. So I want everybody watching us to know who Anokye is.
Right. I mean, when you say Mr. Anokye, it makes me look like some big man.
But I like to say Mr. Anokye.
I'm still a young man. I mean, trying to grow and then like always learning. Yeah. So if anybody wants to know who Anokye is, I would simply say that Anokye is a young man blessed with ideas and always looking forward to making the lives of people better, looking forward to using his ideas to solve problems. And so basically that's who Anokye is. Yeah.
So you grew up in Tema or Accra?
No, I grew up in Obuasi.
You are from Obuasi?
Yes.
Yeah.
In that country.
That's nice.
Yeah.
How was it like growing up?
So growing up, I'm actually thankful to God for the wonderful parents that He gave me. And so I grew up in a very unique family. You know, when I was very, very young, anytime my mother would send myself and then my siblings to town, maybe she's going to the market and all of that, and people see us, they'll be like, hey, oh my dear, like
they are different.
Yeah, there was that special, if I should say, aura around myself and my siblings. And then I think that it is because of the kind of grooming that I had from my parents. My father was a very disciplined man, and he actually made sure that the standards are there, they were set, and there wasn't any room for mediocrity. So I think that that is also how it has shaped my thinking, the way I do my things, and how I can see that. I mean, yes, I'm a Christian gentleman.
Christian
Yeah.
gentleman. That's nice. So you are doing a lot of things right now. I know of ABAN. You are a co-founder for ABAN Global Center, and then you are also Fountain Ideas. Are you a founder or co-founder for? Is it Fountain of Ideas?
Yes. So I am fountain of ideas. I say I am fountain of ideas.
You are Fountain of
Yes.
Ideas. Oh, okay.
I say that because, like I mentioned earlier, I am blessed with ideas, and I always want to use those ideas to help better lives, to help, I mean, even get people's businesses scale up and also solve problems, whether in the nation, whether in institutions, wherever. So I say I am fountain of ideas. Now, what I am also trying to do with that particular tag, if you like, is that I want to try and then create sort of like a conglomerate out of it. So all the initiatives, all the ideas that I am going to roll out, the fountain of ideas is going to serve as an umbrella to house all these initiatives. So that is it. And then I'm also co-founder of ABAN Center for Global Policy. Co-founded it with Joshua P, who currently is the Commonwealth Youth Council chairperson. And basically, the whole drive for that was to use what we are very passionate about and target the young people. And we are passionate about policy. And so it's a matter of using policy or influencing policy targeted at the young people. So the young people are the center of everything that we do at ABAN. And most importantly, you won't find very older people working in ABAN. It's all young people.
Why is it like that?
It's because we think that
I think we should be learning from these old people.
Yes.
So why do you only work with young people? Like only young
it's important that we learn from those people. We learn from the older people. But the execution should be done. We believe that the execution should be done by the young people. And this is because young people understand their issues better than the older people.
That's very
I
true.
mean, the generation we find ourselves currently is different from our parents' generation and then the older people that we see. But of course, we are learning from them.
Okay. So what early moments or what things would you say these are the things that shaped me, that made me want to become a leader, that made me want to be leading people and then bringing ideas to life?
I think it's, like I mentioned, my father's grooming. You know, when I was very young, I would always wake up to Joy FM Super Morning Show in the morning before I even go to school. I come back and then my father is listening to, I mean, some of these popular current affairs shows,
So
whether on TV or on radio.
Like that.
So I used to see leaders on TV communicating, you know, sharing their thoughts, talking about their lives. And I used to be inspired by those things. And also, once again, mentioning my father, in JHS.
Let me come inside. Is that where you got your confidence, your public speaking confidence from?
So I'm getting
there. You're a very confident public speaker.
So I'm getting there. I aspired to become senior prefect in my JHS. And I was a good writer. So those times when I write essays, I'll go and give it to my father to review the essays for me and he'll mark it. But for the very first, in fact, it came with criticisms because like I mentioned, standards always. So for the very first time, when I was writing my manifesto for that position, senior prefect of my JHS, and I sent my manifesto to my father, the response was nothing. I was shocked. I thought that maybe he just wanted me to feel good about it, but then he emphasized the fact that he felt like he was reading a speech from a big politician.
Wow.
Yeah. And that really, really like sparked something in me that, okay, maybe this is something that I would want to do. And in fact, it actually motivated me in the delivery when I went to read my manifesto.
Okay.
The cheers and then the response, reactions from my colleagues and even younger ones made me realize, okay, maybe this is something that I will be doing. So I began to watch more speeches. I began to watch more, documentaries, live shows. And then you see, when people are watching these things, they'll be looking at or listening to just the words. Very important. But I would also be looking at gestures. So I learned from people in terms of their delivery. Somebody that I learned from a lot also that I think has also shaped my public speaking abilities is Kojo Oponkrumah.
No.
And
Are you related to Kojo Oponkrumah?
I'm not related to him.
You have some little resemblance.
And that fits into what I'm saying. Yeah. I actually studied him. I studied his mannerisms, like the way he talks, even hand gestures. And so I think that that was how I was able to build my, and then it wasn't just about watching and studying them. It was also about finding opportunities and applying what I studied.
Okay, finding opportunities as in.
Yes. So back in the university, whenever I hear that there's a program, let's say by any student association, if I have the opportunity to, even if it is just a few minutes to say something, I would want to say something.
Oh, okay.
If I have the opportunity to maybe moderate a program, I would want to moderate the program.
So you used to be a volunteer for programs?
Yes. I wasn't even looking at the money aspect. I wasn't looking at any of that. I was just focused on how I can be able to apply what I have observed, what I've studied. And I think that has also built my confidence.
So your admiration for Kojo Oponkrumah, I know you were into student politics back in school. Is that what sparked your interest in politics?
Oh, no. If you can recall, I mentioned that every morning I used to listen to Joy FM Super Morning Show. And he was host of Joy FM Super Morning Show. So I always listened to his voice on radio. And it was just fascinating. It's like every morning you wake up to listen to one person. And interestingly, during a season, it wasn't even just Monday to Friday. But Saturday, he used to host the news file. And my dad was also hooked on news file every Saturday morning. So it's like 6 days in a week, you are listening to one person, you are following him, and then you are watching him and you are studying him. So it goes beyond just student politics.
Okay. You are a public speaker, a data analyst. I want us to talk about data analysis. Why did you want to study data analysis or be into that space?
Okay. So the very first time I heard about data analysis was in the university. Yeah. I think that was...
was it during your final project?
No.
Because that was the time most of us heard.
No, but I heard about it in third year. And so when I heard about it, I was wondering what this could be about. And I didn't really pay attention to it, honestly. So when I started doing my service, and then I heard somebody say that he's a data analyst, and I was interested. I was like, "Oh, what's it about?" And he spoke to me about it briefly. At that point in time, I still didn't get the understanding. I didn't really get what the whole point was. So fast forward, I had an opportunity to work in a big company, but unfortunately,
emphasis on the big.
But unfortunately, due to some very unfair ruling, if I would say.
What do you mean?
When I say ruling, don't think about it in the courts.
Oh, I get you.
But I mean, a very, very unfair decision. I lost the job.
Unfair decision, as in you felt like you deserved to be there.
Unfair decision. I don't want to go into the specifics.
I respect that.
I lost the job. And that was just after a few months into it. And I'm somebody that I don't want to sit idle. I always want to find something doing. So when I lost the job, I just thank God, because in all things, I always give thanks to God. I thank God, and then I was looking at what next for me. So in looking at what next for me, I kept seeing posts from a colleague of mine that I did service with. And she was always talking about, projects that she worked on, data analysis, visuals, Excel, Power BI, machine learning, Python, and those things. And I was interested. So I asked her, I've heard about data analysis and all of that. Can she throw more insights? And then for the very first time, I was very attentive to what she was saying. And I was like, okay, because where the world is going, you need to be digitally inclined to be able to fit in.
Yeah.
But beyond that too, you need to also have the 21st century advanced skills to stand out.
What are the
to solve
21st
problems?
century advanced skills?
I mean,
in this context?
In this context, I mean, if you, even if you have a baseline understanding of the use of AI, you will be able to stand out because that is moving very fast.
Yeah, very, very fast.
Yes. So, I mean, digital skills, the various tools that are available to us. There are people currently who don't even know how to use MS Word in our generation.
That's a very sad truth.
Yeah. And how can you thrive like that? So I thought of it that okay, where the world is going, I need to be able to have certain tools. And I'm a problem solver. I always want to solve problems. And you can't solve problems if you can't use the tools that are available at the time to be able to solve those problems. Because life is in seasons. You can't use, I mean, it's just like the invention of the typewriter. How many times do you see people use the typewriter anymore?
Oh, right now, nobody's.
I mean, it's very, very, very extinct. So that is the whole point. So when she gave me those feedback, I was like, I'm interested. And then I applied for it. And in fact, the kind of training that I received from Blossom Academy, where I applied to enroll in data analytics, has been amazing. I keep saying, I keep telling my instructors and my colleagues that the training that I've got in 12 weeks, I don't think I've ever received.
It took 12 weeks.
Yes, 12 weeks.
Okay.
I don't think I've received that in like my entire life in terms of education training. No offense to my teachers in the past, but then like it was that profound. And another reason why I'm saying that is it wasn't just about the technical skills, but then also, I mean, you get to discover other parts of you along the way because there are other soft skills aspects and then even certain inspirational seasons and moments. Okay. How to be able to be intentional, how to be able to work hard, how to be able to be consistent. So yeah, that's actually how I ended up. And right now, my thinking is that the skills that I've been able to gain, I want to be able to use to solve problems.
So you entered there just because you didn't want to be idle. You didn't want to.
I didn't want to be idle. I saw it as an opportunity to be advanced and then move with the way the world is going, and to also have some skills to solve problems.
I want to know this, like in your work, being a youth leader and then standing on firm grounds for policy making and all of that. What are the emotional tools that take from you?
I used to be a very emotional person. Yeah, until recently.
Emotional in what sense?
Emotional in the sense that I used to always lead with my heart. So, you see, when people used to advise me, I mean, you don't need to trust people that much. But I always wanted to give people the benefit of doubt. Yeah, that's the kind of person that I am. But fast forward, recently, I've developed. And right now, before I take a decision, I'm very intentional about the decision because I do not want to take a decision that people would ask me questions about the decision I've taken, and then I wouldn't be able to have the evidence to back it. Okay. And then being a youth leader and serving as co-founder of ABAN, you cannot come out with a policy proposal, come out with an initiative, and there's no evidence to back it. So we are always encouraged to research, always encouraged to back it with evidence. And I think that is something that young people need to learn. Because in the world that we are, you can't just come up and say that, hey, I had a feeling about something, and so I want to say this. What is the evidence backing what you want to see? There's evidence to back every single thing that you want to see.
You've mentioned ABAN. We've talked a little about ABAN.
Yeah.
I want to know, what problem were you trying to solve
with ABAN?
When you started ABAN.
So ABAN is a policy think tank with the youth at its center. The problems that we were trying to solve was, one, to be able to help bridge the gap between the old and the young.
Okay.
Two, to be able to build capacities of young people, because we believe that we need to and in Ghana, we need to be able to get to the point where we create the environment for young people to thrive. There are young people with very bright ideas, but then in the part of the world that we find ourselves, the ideas get stuck in their heads or locked up in their
Why
rooms.
do you think that happened?
It is because the policies that have been created for young people are not enough. But you see, when you have a population where young people cover just about 70%, then it means that your policy should always factor young people.
Do you think that that's a political problem?
Policy is politics because somebody has to drive the policy. Politicians drive the policy. So policy is definitely politics. But the kind of ecosystem that we have, the decision doesn't lie with the politicians alone. Civil society organizations have been very vociferous and have played instrumental roles in driving policy as well. And so we believe that, okay, if we can't be the politicians to drive the policy, we can be civil society organization to also drive the policy or to influence the policy. So ABAN is a think tank where we see an issue that is directly affecting young people and then we want to solve it. How? Through our writings. I'm a writer. Joshua is a writer. There are several writers.
Are you the only people in ABAN right
No,
now?
we have a team.
Okay.
Everybody is playing a team of, I think, about 15 to 16 people, coordinators. Everybody
they are all young people.
All young people.
That's nice.
So there are researchers, there are writers. I mean, there are even analysts. And then right now, I'm also an analyst.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we keep growing. We keep growing just like that. And also, we have been able to organize certain flagship events, popularly the Digital and Sustainability Experience. And once again, coming back into the conversation about how young people need to get themselves abreast with the innovations of the current world.
Current innovations, yeah.
And so we are looking at digitalization, we're looking at sustainability, a merge of the two. How can we bring young people in one location for them to learn from the experts, for them to contribute their ideas as well to the conversation, and then also for them to showcase what they've been able to build.
Okay. Most of the time, young people are not allowed to speak in certain moments or certain instances. You go for meetings and then maybe a boss is going with a national service person or maybe a new employee. They'll go for the meeting. He will just be at the back. It's good. It's a learning process.
Yeah.
When you are at the back, you also like learn something.
Yeah.
But then sometimes the people at the back also have things, ideas that they would also like to share.
Absolutely.
Contributions that will actually like impact whatever meeting they had. But then we don't have that voice. We don't have that. How do I say? There is no a friendly environment like that for us.
Yeah, that's true. And that is actually even why I'm very passionate about this, and I'm very passionate about how we can be able to focus on young people and bring young people up there. And I was particularly happy when I saw that the president has inaugurated the Ministry of Youth, right?
Yeah,
and to focus on youth policy. It was actually a very, very good thing to see. And so it's coming together bit by bit.
Yeah.
But there's a thin line, and the thin line there is the young people also have a role to play. As a young person, it is not just about giving the opportunity to say something or to contribute your ideas. It's also about doing more listening than talking. The more you listen, the more you're able to shape and put together what ideas you have. So that by the time you are coming out with excellence, and then people find weight in what you are saying. That is why, the elderly people probably are not paying so much attention to young people, or probably are not really giving young people the opportunity, because they've seen most of us. They've given most of us the opportunity, and then we end up failing them.
Yeah.
And so, yes, there's a call for that young people need to be put on the platforms to be able to help contribute their ideas. But there's also the other parts that young people, we also need to pay attention to. That by the time the opportunity presents itself, we are ready for it. We are equipped for it.
One thing that worries young people with ideas is investment or let me say financial constraints. So how do you make sure that young people are getting some financial benefits? Like people with ideas. People have very great ideas. There are some ideas that you can't just execute them.
Yeah.
You need some like very huge sum of money to bring those ideas to life. So how would you make sure, like, you working with ABAN, what impact are you trying to make on these people with those ideas who are not getting financial help?
Yeah. So before I even dive into the ABAN bit, I want to say something. That there are two ways that I want to tackle this question. And the first is that young people need to understand that you don't always have to own something. Everybody wants to be a founder. Everybody wants to own something. Everybody wants to own something. And yes, it's good to, I mean, if you've gotten an idea, you want to execute something, it's good. But you see, a lot of factors come into play to make that idea work. Okay. Finance is just one bit of it. Mm-hmm. And so we need to be able to come to the understanding that, okay, I can work for somebody, get some income from there, and even get some more ideas to better my idea. Mm-hmm. And then I transition into becoming that founder that I've always wanted to be. There's also the other part of priority. There are a lot of young people who are multi-talented, but they are unable to prioritize. So you need to be able to sit down, have a deep meditation of the idea that you have, and ask yourself, is this season the right season for it? Ask yourself, do I have
that's a very good question to ask yourself.
Yes.
Is this season the right season for it?
Yeah. And also to be able to ask, I mean, am I ready for it? Right? Those are the two ways I want to tackle it.
Talking about the am I ready for it part. Currently there are life coaches who tell you that you have to take action.
Yeah.
And I believe in taking action. I'm a firm believer of taking action.
Yeah.
So if someone gets the idea and then this person is trying to take action, and you're also saying you should consider this, consider that, maybe after considering those things, there will be some kind of fears, doubts, and then those things to like make people just relax. They stop whatever dream that they are having that they want to chase. They just put it aside.
So I was actually coming to that.
Okay.
So the first two things that I mentioned, everybody wants to be a founder. That is one. The priority aspect too is also one. But most importantly, you can never learn if you don't start.
Okay.
Even the fact that you've picked the book, you've gotten an idea, you've picked the book, and you're at the ideation stage trying to even note down what you have thought about. It's a start.
Okay.
You can never learn anything if you don't start. So you always have to start. But you see, in this part of our world too, when young people hear the word start, they think of finances. How am I going to fund this? But start is even just the little writing that you are doing. Even if you are in the shower and an idea drops in your head and you keep thinking about it and meditating on it, it's also a start. So you start by putting the pieces together from ground up. Let me ask you a question. If you get to a building, a story building, and then there's a top, but there are no staircases to get to the top, how do you get to the top? You always have to build things from ground up.
Yeah, you have to build from the scratch.
Yes. Then the finance aspect will come in along the way.
Okay.
One thing that we always miss out on is also meaningful relationships. You are doing Dreams and Feelings podcast.
Yes.
There are people who are helping you to make this dream a reality.
Yes.
And it's because you build that meaningful relationships with them.
And then they also believe in
the vision. You are not paying huge sums of money to put this together.
Yes.
And so that is what we need to understand. That finances or funds is not the only thing. But at ABAN, what we're also trying to do is that we're also trying to, as we climb the ladder ourselves, trying to get corporate bodies on board, other organizations on board, so that they can be able to fund some of the ideas that young people are coming up with.
You see, there are some times that you don't even feel inspired. Like this podcast, even this podcast I'm doing, there'll be some days that you wake up and you feel like, bro, Charlie, it's hard, bro.
Yeah.
But then we still keep going.
Yeah.
So when you face moments like that, or when you get into moments like that, how do you deal with those moments? Or emotionally, how do you cope?
So I don't live my life in a box.
Okay.
Because
you don't live your life in
a
box.
box.
I want you to explain
so
that.
What I mean by that is life is life. I always think about the future. I always think in long term.
Okay.
So if today I get up and then I don't even have money to buy food to eat, I see it as though it is part of it. It's part of the journey.
The journey is long.
So I'll just pick myself up and move on. So when you have that mindset, yes, there'll be times where but you just understand that that is not your end goal. You just understand that you didn't come on this earth to fail. So since you know that okay, it's just part of the journey, then you just keep moving on. But consistency is also very important. It is out of consistency that you build momentum.
Okay.
So if you are doing this podcast and then you are consistent with it, you keep getting people to come on it, just like I'm here, and then you are recording and then you are uploading, you are doing it consistently. A time will come, people will start paying attention to you, and then you look back and be like, wow,
I really built this.
You really built this. Yeah. There are some people who are very, fortunate, and then they can do something one time and it booms.
Just go.
But you see, what those people, you realize that certain factors make that happen.
Yeah. You even track back and then you see that those people actually started a long time ago.
Yeah.
But then they weren't in that field.
Yeah. And you see, something like podcasts like this, it needs visibility and then it needs an audience. So if you are comparing, let's say, yourself to somebody like, if let's say Sarkodie wants to start a podcast right now, Sarkodie, starting a podcast about how to inspire young creatives right now. How many, don't you think that people would subscribe to the podcast?
It's
a no-brainer.
Within less than 24 hours.
It's a no-brainer. Exactly.
Let's take Ronaldo's own, for instance. Ronaldo has been there. We call him the GOAT. He's my GOAT. Ronaldo is my GOAT.
He's also my GOAT.
Yeah. So the GOAT has been playing football for a long time. He has gotten that relevance for himself.
Yeah.
He said he's starting a YouTube channel.
Exactly.
And then the moment he started the channel, I think right now, is it the second or I don't know. It just blew up. Yeah. So we built from somewhere.
Yeah. But Ronaldo also started from somewhere. That's the point I wanted to make.
Yes.
So because life is in seasons, and Ronaldo started from somewhere. Right now, when he wants to do something, he gets the numbers easily. But you can't compare yourself to Ronaldo.
Never.
So the only difference between you and Ronaldo, and for you to even go beyond Ronaldo, starting a YouTube channel, is consistency.
You talked about mindsets. Yeah. I was watching one podcast and then Connected Minds podcast, and then he asked the guest this question. I want to ask you: do you think location is a barrier?
Location is not a barrier.
Why do you think location is not a barrier?
Location is not a barrier because there's a reason why you were put in that location.
Wait, I started this podcast.
Yeah.
Let me not talk about my podcast. People, some people are doing music.
Yeah.
They started in Kumasi.
Yeah.
And then they were in Kumasi. But then they moved to Accra and then their songs started to blow up.
Yeah.
Don't you still think location can be a barrier at some point or sometimes?
But ask yourself, how then did that move from Kumasi to Accra happen? Somebody probably listened to them in Kumasi and put the idea in their heads that, look, I have a studio in Accra that you can come to Accra.
Okay.
Sarkodie started in Tema.
Mm-hmm.
But right now he's nationwide and even global.
Nationwide. Sarkodie is global.
It's global. Yes. So location is never a barrier. Everybody starts from somewhere. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world right now. Where does he have his roots from? South Africa. So location is never a barrier. You see, mindset is very important, like you mentioned. It's about, I think that we need to get to the point where we don't borrow so much from the West. We need to get to the point where we go back to the basics, the understanding, and that is where I am actually looking forward to helping young people at. It's like if we don't have the basic understanding, our ideas of like certain, like our worldviews of certain subjects, even money, is problematic and questionable. That's a topic for another day. But if we understand true and true, basically how money is supposed to even be used, what is even the concept of money? What is the concept of culture? What is the concept of even politics? What is the concept of purpose? What is the concept of the words that we use day in, day out? We can be able to know how to navigate life, and then we can be able to go global.
Okay, so you've been doing public speaking, which is a form of should I say a kind of or a part of storytelling. You are telling stories. So what has that taught you about how people perceive things and then how people see themselves too?
Okay, so we are in this world, and then everybody has their own diverse views about things. How do they get these diverse views? Experience is one. The kind of experience you have had may be different from the kind of experience I've had. It doesn't make me a better person or you a better person than the other. And so people tend to be driven by their experiences. Their decisions tend to be driven by their experiences. Also, in terms of beliefs, right? In religious beliefs. So if somebody is a Christian, the person's worldview will probably be centered on his understanding of the word of God. So all of these things come together to get people's thoughts in a particular direction. But there are certain things that are very fundamental, certain things that we all would agree that are right. And so if you come to the nation Ghana and then somebody drinks water and drops it on the floor, the person dropping it on the floor himself knows that this is wrong.
That's not a good thing to do.
But it now has to take public speakers, for instance, to shape the mindsets of the people in a particular direction. Right now, we have a lot of people who are public speakers.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people that are dispelling ideas to people, whether godly ideas or godless ideas. The most important thing is that there's a shared vision. There's an end goal. So what is the end goal of the ordinary Ghanaian? Is to live a prosperous life. And so if we're able to shape the mindset of Ghanaians to see that for us to be able to live a prosperous life, this is the kind of mindset we need to have. I think we'll be in the right direction.
So I want to ask you, what's one thing you are currently building? We are getting to the end of the conversation. I want to know one thing that you are currently building that scares you a little in a good way.
Scares me. I think that it's there are a lot of things that I've been thinking about lately that I want to build. But one of the things that I'm still in the ideation process for, that I'm thinking about starting pretty soon, has to do with something that is very much in line with Ghana as a nation and getting the Ghanaian populace to understand certain, shaping the mindsets of the Ghanaians, and then also getting ideas out there on how we can be able to shape our nation. The reason why maybe I would be scared about it is because when I want to start, it's a very big thing. But when I want to start, I'll be starting at a very young age.
Okay.
That is one. Second has to do with intimidation. If you are trying to see the right thing, somebody somewhere would think that, because probably it's not going to favor him or her in an election, so this guy needs to be stopped. But all in all, as human as I am, those things probably will scare me. But all in all, one thing that keeps me going and that makes me confident in myself that I'm going to succeed with it is that I trust in the name of Jesus. And Jesus says, if you trust in my name and you ask, I will do it. He didn't say, I will give it. He says, I will do it. And so if I have that mindset and I trust that, I know that I'm going to keep going.
Okay.
And right now, I believe that I'm in the season of greater works. So I'll be doing greater works.
Doing greater works.
Yeah.
You all be doing greater works
Yes,
together.
exactly.
Actually, Anokye is someone we will be seeing Anokye often because I will try to have him maybe once a year or every year. I'll try to have Anokye on the show because I personally admire you a lot. I admire from uni days and all of that. I've been seeing you talking in public and all of that. I'm like, this guy is very confident. Wow. I want you to look into the camera, whoever is watching us, a young person that's watching us, a multi-potentialite who is afraid to start or who is afraid to chase his or her dream. Maybe there are some fears or some doubts or maybe some things pushing him back or something. Pulling him back. I want you to talk to that person. Yeah, tell him something, like leave a message to him or her.
Yeah. So, I mean, before I even say that, I would want to say kudos to you for what you started. And I think that right now your numbers will probably be in the hundreds.
Oh, yeah.
But it will shock you that very soon you enter the thousands and enter into the millions as well.
Amen.
Yes. So I mean, I really like what you are doing. And that is something that I would want to pick from there and then share with every young person to see that you need to be intentional about every decision that you want to take. If you have an idea, if you have something that you are very passionate about, if you have something that doesn't make you sleep, you need to be very intentional about it. It is out of being intentional that you would be able to defend whatever idea that you have. And so let us be intentional as young people and let us have that continuous learning spirit. Young people actually think that, I mean, so far as I've achieved something, then they settle over there. But no, you don't need to settle.
We actually like to settle.
Yes, you don't need to settle.
Like to settle.
Yes, there is no rest for you. You should see life in long term. When you see life that way, you won't settle, and then you keep going, and you will be consistent with what you do, build momentum, and you do greater works.
Okay.